Hey guys, it's SGT Nickel here again, and still on the SKS, and we're talking about all the parts. I've gone over safety check and the loading and unloading of this firearm. I've talked a tiny little bit about the ammo. The ammo is 7.62 by 3.9 millimeter. It's my stuff, NATO round, corrosive rounds, copper jacket. I believe this is Chinese surplus. I've had Russian surplus. You'll get one of these with the gun. This is just a grease kit. This isn't a cleaning kit. You don't use this for cleaning. What you do is, when your gun goes into storage for a long period of time, is you're going to grease it. That prevents it from rusting and deteriorating over time. The grease will just keep the oxygen and the elements off it. When you take it out of storage, you're going to have to clean all that crap off. So it's really just an extra item. You rarely use it. My cleaning gear is Hops number 9 and just 3-in-1 oil. It's generally what I use. So we're going to get into the takedown of this firearm. Takedown is very simple. You don't usually need tools. With this, I go right up here. You got that lever, and then up front you have this. That's really all you need to know for the taking apart for cleaning. This gun is not coming off the stock today, so it's not. We're not getting into any of that. We're just taking the top off. That's all you really need to do to clean it. So, tab lifts up, then it pulls out towards you guys. Whoops, and you see, I was standing to the side. This thing just flung right out, spring loaded. The nice thing to do is to prevent that from happening is you close your action. I'm just going to put it together very, very quickly, just as a quick demonstration to show you how to prevent that from happening, because it can be dangerous. So, as you can see, action's open, this is ready. I want to take it apart. What I'm going to do is this. Drop my magazine, release this, close, pull trigger. I just released the hammer, it's released all tension into everything. Now I'm going to lift this up, pull out, and this just drops down. As you can see, when I just put it back into place, it's not springing out. Safe. So, just something to keep in mind. When it's cocked back and you take it apart, it's spring loaded and everything flies out. It's not that dangerous, it's not that bad for the gun. It can be embarrassing if you're not expecting it, or if you're got your face in there, or God knows what. It could give you a black eye, maybe just hurt. So, yeah. So this comes out, twirly side always to the back, straight side inside the bolt body. If you get your gun and it's the other way around, flip it around. This is the way it's supposed to go. So, spring, I'm going to just set it down here. Try and keep everything in order as to how it comes out. That way it ensures it goes back together in order. So, this bolt body, now, we got that off. Now, because I've done that, just lifts back. My hammer was up. You're going to have to push the hammer back. That gives you just an idea of looking at the hammer. You can see if there's any crud buildup on it. You can always release it again. You have to push down this button, things like that. I'm not going to bother. My gun is super clean anyway, so it's not really going to teach you guys anything. So, there's your bolt body and bolt carrier. That's the proper way. You know it's together right when it sits like that. So, this is just basically just a machined piece of metal. This is the area where the piston hits to help push this back. That's all this section up here. I'll get into that in a minute. This is your bolt. The big thing about this is you have an extractor on here. You want to make sure it's clean and free moving. You want to make sure it moves. The main big one about this, and I can't stress it anymore, is your firing pin. You want to make sure that you can push your firing pin and it slides back. If you push it and it stays up, you get yourself a problem. That causes slam fire. When I cocked my gun, when it was at the range, and I had a round in there, and I was explaining I had the confidence that I could do this in my house. Well, that's because if this is sticking out like this, and you did that, you'd pump 5 rounds rapid fire without a finger even on the trigger. It's a malfunction, and a very dangerous one. It's the only downside that I can think of to these firearms. I've seen it happen on semi-automatic shotguns, things like that. It's all about cleaning your gun, people. You gotta clean it, okay? If you don't clean it properly, you're gonna have malfunctions, you're gonna have accidents. You really gotta take responsibility to clean it. So, these should always be checked. Even if the gun sits for a while, definitely check it, because oils and stuff, they do stiffen up if they sit. They need to be worked. So, anyway, I've talked enough about that. The next thing is the top end, the front end. So that little lever that I showed you does 2 clicks. Clicks once, halfway, doesn't really do anything. You flip it up one more time, and now I can take out my cylinder. There's still one more piece in there, in the gun, that I'm going to be showing you, but right now it's just a cylinder and the cylinder piston slide or whatever. This is the piston. See, it sits in the gun this way, and what happens is when you fire a round out, the gas follows up through here, pushing the gas blowback through here against your piston, which fires this piece forward. See, it goes boom. And that piece hits a rod that's in here on a spring. That fires against your bolt carrier, which is this piece, pushing it back. So the recoil of your discharge and casing coming out, along with the blowback, is what helps feed this firearm to make it more effective. So you'll want to steel wool this, give it a good scrub, clean this out real good inside there. It's just the you'll see a lot of crud and stuff all build up inside there. So it's just good to make sure it's clean. So this one looks pretty clean to me. So next piece, and this piece can be a little dangerous because it's spring-loaded. So I just put my finger down in front of it just to catch it because it's going to fire forward. And it's just another piece of this piston. Same deal. You want to make sure it's clean. There's another spring. So just very simple, but very important to keep clean. That just goes back in there. You're going to scrub out inside here. So, yeah. Pretty much as far as that goes. And I just slide that back in. So, yeah, takedown. Now we get into the bayonet here. Take that. Now we're on a spring here, so it can be dangerous. This is also sharp, so you got to be careful. I've already cut myself on this thing, and because it's spring-loaded, it can actually fire into your foot if you're not careful, or into the ground. This blade, it's not going to hit you that hard, but it's because it's pointed, it can still hurt. So the best thing to do is hold on to it the best you can, and try and keep this bolt to your advantage until you get it out. See, I find pushing up and then you take the bolt out just helps it a little bit better. So, we got our bayonet here. As you can see, it's just a spring, little blade on a rod with a hole in it, and then your handle with the muzzle grabber. This piece grabs the muzzle. It's as simple as that. Just make sure it's clean, and it's off. And so that's basically the takedown of your SKS. It takes the whole top system, everything off. This firearm is really light when it's got everything off it. So that's pretty much as it goes to the full takedown. You could go further and take the gun out of the stock, but that's more work and you're likely to scratch your stock doing that. So I'm not going to bother. So I guess I'll see you in the next vid. It's going to be on putting this thing back together.